Hello and welcome to Select 10. For enthusiasts of fantasy shows, the best fantasy stories serve as a kind of escape to an endless realm of magic, quests, experiences, and scenarios that allow their imaginations to run wild. These 10 new fantasy TV shows of 2023 are packed with exciting, fresh worlds to discover, ranging from magical adventures to stories involving mythical characters and creatures. While some are well-known fantasy shows with new seasons, others are brand new fantasy web series released in 2023. Now let's start the video. Number 10. Mayfair Witches. It is a supernatural fantasy thriller series created by Esta Spalding and Michelle Ashford. The show is based on Anne Rice's book series, Lives of the Mayfair Witches, and it clearly falls short of the book's standards. Therefore, if you have already read the book, you will be very disappointed. However, if you're unfamiliar with this and are just looking for magic, adventure, you could like this. The main focus of the show is Dr. Rowan Fielding, who learns of an ancestral connection to the Mayfair Witches, an elite and mysterious clan of witches. As Rowan discovers the secrets of her family's past, she is entangled in an ancient conflict and has to figure out how to utilize her newly acquired abilities to take on a malevolent force that has tormented her family members. This show seems to fall short in every manner, and the main flaw in the series is that it concentrates more on the mystery around the Rowan's family drama rather than giving proper weight to the rich and thoughtful characterizations. But the show can be enjoyable for the general audience because of its magical element and suspenseful plot. Number 9. American-Born Chinese. It is a fantasy action comedy series created by Kelvin Yu. The narrative revolves around Jin Wang, a young man who finds it difficult to manage his life at home and in school. However, his usual life became intense when Jin became unknowingly engaged in a war involving mythological gods when he met a new classmate Wei Chen, who turned out to be linked to the Monkey King, an ancient figure in Chinese mythology. Wei Chen is searching for a typical teen who is said to help him in his mission to put a stop to a rebellion against heaven. The plot of the show cleverly shifts between today and the 16th century, and it features a ton of action scenes that are effective up until they get dull. However, the show contains a lot of fun elements, mythology, and adventure, which makes it worth watching. In addition, the show tackles a range of topics, including parenthood, relationships, and the difficulties faced by young boys on a daily basis. It is entertaining to watch due to the way it smoothly blends the teen and fantasy genres. Number 8. Creature. It is a fantasy horror mystery series directed by Kagan Irmak. It is a Turkish adaptation of the well-known novel Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, which tackles topics of man versus nature, life, and death. The story revolves around Zia, a young medical school student who dreams of becoming a top doctor and developing treatments for viral illnesses. The series explores the central themes of loss of life and the afterlife, as do the majority of Frankenstein tales. The real story starts when Zia meets Isan, a physician who is equally brilliant and insane, but their interaction rapidly reveals reincarnation secrets that have disastrous consequences. The show has 8 episodes, and it is far from flawless, but it does a lot and has good production value, and the story delivers strong emotion and a fresh take on a traditional plot that feels both relatable and fresh at the same time. However, it is strictly for fans of gothic horror and fantasy, and if you are familiar with the Frankenstein story, Creature won't come as an unexpected delight. Number 7. Good Omens. It is a fantasy comedy series based on Terry Pratchett's 1990 novel of the same name. The show has 2 seasons, and the second season premiered on July 28, 2023. I'll discuss the key concept here without giving anything away, so you can decide whether or not to see it. The main characters of the tale are the angel Aziraphale and the demon Crowley, who act as the representatives of heaven and hell on earth. However, their peaceful existence quickly turned into a nightmare when they discovered an approaching celestial battle that may end the world. The first season centers on their shared struggles to keep the planet from ending. The second season centers on Archangel Gabriel, who shows up at Aziraphale's bookstore out of the blue. In the meantime, Aziraphale and Crowley are astonished and make an effort to learn what happened to Gabriel, along with trying to keep him hidden from celestial beings who are desperate to find him. Both seasons feature an entertaining storyline, exciting fantasy adventures, and great humor that will maintain your interest throughout every episode. Number 6. The Witcher. It is a fantasy adventure series based on the book series of the same name by Andrzej Sapkowski. While the third season is not what fans or anybody else anticipated, it's also not that terrible. Every season feels very different from the original material, and that is not a compliment, and in most cases, it should have stayed true to the book. However, the show's action-packed dark universe, terrifying creatures, and compelling characters will satisfy most general viewers. In Season 3, the story follows Geralt, Ciri, and Yennefer as they flee the Princess of Cintra's adversaries and try to uncover a method to safeguard Ciri from those who are looking for her, while simultaneously attempting to learn the true nature of the magician who is covertly working for Nilfgaard. However, when they are all split up and made to embark on different trips, things get serious. Season 3 also contains a huge battle and its impact on the characters, which was quite interesting. Despite its flaws, The Witcher's scale expands in the third season with the introduction of fresh events and characters, although it still experiences some of the uneven pacing with regard to the additional plots. One of the major strengths of this adaptation is Henry Cavill's depiction of Geralt of Rivia. His developing connection with Ciri serves as the season's central emotional theme. Number 5. Sweet Tooth. It is a fantasy drama series based on the comic book series created by Jeff Lemire. Season 2 was a lot of fun to watch and got us hyped for the third season. If you're new to this show, don't worry, we'll discuss it in a way that won't reveal anything. The show takes place in the future, where an infectious disease has claimed the lives of most people on Earth, leaving many survivors suffering from unidentified illnesses. This series of events coincides with the appearance of hybrid babies exhibiting animal features. The main character of the story is a hybrid child named Gus, who, following the death of his father, goes out in search of his mother and follows his new journey, during which he gets caught by General Abbott, who orders a terrified scientist to start testing on the hybrid children in an effort to find a treatment for the disease. Overall, Season 2 is darker than Season 1 and has a solid cast of characters. The series is unlike any other, appealing to both new viewers and fans of the comic book thanks to its striking visuals and thought-provoking subjects. Number 4. The Wheel of Time. It is an epic fantasy adventure series based on the book series of the same name by Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson. While Season 1 did not live up to everyone's expectations, Season 2 does. The plot of Season 2 is far more expansive as the major characters are divided up, giving us the opportunity to watch each character flourish in their own narratives and encounter new evils before coming back together to defeat the threat posed by the Dark One's followers. In Season 2, we follow the events as a legion of strong sorceresses discovers that the dragon, a deadly historical character destined to save the world or destroy it, has returned to life and attempts to keep him away from the Dark One and other impending threats as they deal with the dragon's growing power and growing insanity. The first season tells the tale of a sorcerer named Moiraine, who guides a group of young people, believing one of them to be the dragon reborn. Thus, in the first season, these 5 people get thrown into a magical and prophetic realm where wizards attempt to defend them from evil powers and discover who is the dragon reborn. And things go awry in the second season after they learn the truth. Personally, I think Season 2 was far superior to Season 1, and based on how the second season ended, the third season is likely to be even more crazy. Number 3. Reborn Rich. It is a fantasy drama directed by Yoon Dae-yoon. Although the plot does not follow the usual fantasy cliches of kingdoms, monsters, and battles, it does offer a unique fantasy element that is well worth seeing. The show narrates the story of Yoon Hyun-woo, a devoted worker for the Cheebal Sunyang Company, who was killed to conceal an unlawful scheme by a Sunyang family member. However, to our surprise and his own, he wakes up in 1987 and learns that he has been resurrected into the physical form of Jin Do-jun, the Sunyang family's young grandchild. Now that he has his vengeance, he takes advantage of the situation and plans to gain control over Sunyang Group resentfully. But will he succeed? In spite of being well written and powerfully directed, Reborn Rich is still a complex drama about the wealthy and poor, and it gets harder to follow the plot when reincarnation fantasy elements are added. But the show does a great job of fusing business, politics, crime, and family relationships together to create a very interesting plot with plenty of unexpected turns. Number 2. Shadow and Bone. It is a fantasy drama series based on the written works of Leigh Bardugo. One of the best fantasy shows in recent years, and it definitely deserves much more popularity than it has received. The second season premiered on March 16, 2023, and it was just as outstanding as the first. The series takes place in a world where a dark fold inhabited by hideous creatures split the nation and sparked an uprising among people. The plot centers on Alina Starkov, a mapmaker who was assigned to the First Army of the nation, whose mission was to destroy the fold. However, their operations are unsuccessful until one day, when Alina finds out she is a Grisha, a special individual with extraordinary abilities, and realizes she has what it takes to demolish the fold and restore the nation. Unfortunately for her, things become complicated when she starts to learn how to use her powers, and the forces of darkness attempt to stop her. The second season is full of surprises, as Alina is forced to flee from the nation to get away from the Darkling, in an effort to increase her power and battle the Darkling, as well as destroy the Shadow Fold. With an epic battle that concluded Season 2, there are many unanswered questions and the potential for a third season. It is a must-see fantasy series for fans. Number 1. One Piece. It is a fantasy adventure series based on the manga series of the same name by Eiichiro Oda. This is the best and most entertaining show of 2023. You can watch this series regardless of your familiarity with anime, as the narrative is designed such that even those who are unfamiliar with the manga will find it satisfying. The show chronicles the exploits of the Straw Hat Pirates crew as they go into perilous seas in pursuit of the unclaimed One Piece, a legendary treasure that will elevate their captain, Monkey D. Luffy, to the title of King of the Pirates. However, their mission gets challenging when they discover they're not the only crew looking for the mysterious One Piece, and to make matters worse, the forces of the Marines are on the lookout for their ship. While the plot offers a general overview of the One Piece universe, other pirates, and some characters who will play significant roles in future episodes, the first season follows occurrences as Luffy tries to recruit members for his crew. It is challenging to cover every manga chapter in the One Piece universe due to its vast scope, but the show did a fantastic job developing its core plot, which is full of humor, action, drama, and adventure. In addition, a second season has been confirmed, and if you haven't watched this show yet, this is the ideal time to do so. That's it for today, and if you liked our video, then do subscribe to our channel to see more videos featuring web series and movie recommendations.